Kimba, 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 you tantalizing temptress in the wonderfully tight t-shirt. Kimba, baby.
Hey there, it's me, Kimba, radio broadcast for season 4, episode 4. Guess what I named it?
What?
Shama Lama Ding Dong!
Hell yeah!
if you have any knowledge of this person right here, you know that is something frequently said by him. Sweet Pete Brown, everybody.
Hello there.
We've known each other for, dare I say,
Wow. You don't dare.
30 years. Going on.
Yikes.
Where did we first meet? Do you remember?
I think it was a Button South. Remember that? You're going to hear a lot of places that are closed. Just speaking of being young, I first started playing at the Button. I don't know, it was Plus 5. Remember the Plus 5 Lounge in Davie? Anybody remember that?
Oh, yeah.
So I wasn't 21 yet, and you could get in if you're 18, but you couldn't drink. You had to have a wristband to drink. So I had this brilliant idea. I watched people that were had a wristband, and at the end of the night, they take off the wristband and throw it in the trash, right? And I took one out of the trash, and I brought some tape from home, and I taped it onto my head. And so we did the show, and afterward, I'm talking to these girls, and I have a beer, and I see the bouncer kind of eyeing me, and he goes, "Let me see that," and he rips it off, and he goes, "Get out of here!" And it was so embarrassing. And my dad, who happened to be at the show, was like, "Oh, that's okay. I'm his father. It's okay if he has a beer." And they're like, "Well, it's not okay with us, though." And the girls laughed.
The things we used to do.
Oh, Lord.
We really didn't have all-age shows back then anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Not a lot of them. So we had to do things like that. We had to sneak in and put wristbands on because they didn't have a whole lot of all-ages places.
Yeah. Well, my point was that we were really young when we started the band. And right out of high school. We started playing talent shows when we were in high school.
And then when I had Zeta Goes Local, that started in 1995. So I had you on the show. I archived almost all of my stuff. Interviews, some of the stuff that I just did on the air, phone calls. I have so much of that stuff archived. And the one thing that I cannot find is my interview with Company Kane on the local show.
Really?
I have all of the other local bands that I interviewed, and that's the only one I can't find. But what I do have, so whenever I'd have the bands on, they would play a song or two because we had that nice little studio that you could play in.
Nice studio.
Yeah. And then I would have them do what we call artist IDs. And we would do that with the national acts and with the local acts. So I'd have them on the local show. And then I would have
who are you talking to? Oh, there's a camera there. Okay.
The artist ID would be them saying, I'm such and such from such and such band, and you're listening to Zeta or Zeta Goes Local. So, of course, when Company Kane came in to do the interview for Zeta Goes Local, I asked them afterwards if they would do that. And it sounded kind of like this.
Hey, this is Rob Torres.
Why you got to use your last name?
Because I want my last name.
Why? I don't want to say.
Hey, this is Rob, and I play a Strat.
Hey, I play with myself. Do you remember? Are we allowed to talk about this? The statute of limitations might be up, but we did a song. Company Kane wrote a song for the Crash Club when they were first. I think it was a grand opening, and they had this open bar, and I wrote a song, and they played it on Zeta, and I still remember it goes. They got an open bar, it lasts until 10, so drink up and throw up and do it again. And somebody called into the station and complained, like, what are they promoting, alcoholism or bulimia? And can you tell them what you did? Are you allowed to talk about?
I don't even know what I did. What did I do?
You said, I don't know what you're talking about. Just claimed that she had no idea what she recorded that commercial herself, but
and when they complained, I said,
and you told the station manager, I don't know what this lady's talking about, but
I still don't know.
They yanked the ad because it was considered inappropriate, and that was back then. You can imagine what the reaction would get. No. We'll edit all of this out, folks.
No, we won't. I really don't remember that. That's hysterical, but that sounds like what I would do. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I get that a lot.
After you were on Zeta Goes Local, like I said, started in 95, but you ended up playing Zeta Fest. We had a local stage and we had a bunch of local bands playing. Company Kane was one of them. And you'll see pictures and you'll understand why they called you Blonde Jesus.
I haven't heard that in a while.
I know. And then before you left, I loved watching local bands play and everything, and I became friends with a lot of them, you especially. I also have a picture because I went to your family's Christmas party sometime in the 90s. I don't even remember what
And
year
you
it
have
was.
photographic evidence
I
of
have
that?
photographic evidence where we all look like we are totally behaving. You want to say how Company Kane got together? You said right out of high school.
Right out of high school.
Okay. Because you put out a couple albums with Company Kane.
Yeah, I did. The second one is still up there. So that's the first plug of this podcast.
The Jonestown Kinship.
Streaming everywhere.
And what is my favorite song?
You Will Be Sorry, which I will be playing. I'm getting a band together now. We're getting together next week, seeing how it goes. But that's one of the songs I'll put in the set.
That is still on my playlist on my phone. I have a bunch of local bands that I still have. And again, we're talking the local show was 1995, so 30 years later, and I still, every time those songs come up, I don't know how to describe it. It sounds cheesy, but it makes me so happy. And I think it's because that was such a cool time. There were so many, the local scene was so
so many good bands.
And so many good bands, and things were happening for bands. Bands were getting signed. It didn't always work out, but it was such a good time. So when I hear the music, and it was such good music. You had Son of a New Generation. Was that on the first?
That was on the first one. That's still not up there for streaming. I love it, but it's the only song on that album that seems dated to the time.
90s, yes, but I like it too. Name some of the members of the band at the time.
Company Kane.
Yeah.
Rob Torres.
Which you heard his last name, or his first and last name.
Yes, he made it a point to say that. We actually went to pick you up from the station one night, and you told him, I'm almost done, but I got to do this last thing. He said, and you said, you can be a part of the show. I'm playing AC/DC. The song was Hard as a Rock. I'll never forget this. And I'm going to ask you, like, hey, we got Company Kane in the studio. Rob, how you feeling? Your answer is hard as a rock. Right? So you were finishing up, and the commercial goes, and you're like, all right, it's Kimba back on the radio, whatever. And you go, all right, I'm back with Company Kane. Rob, how you feeling? And he goes, fine. Totally forgot his line within 40 seconds.
It's not as easy to be on the radio as people think it is.
And then he remembered. He's, oh, hard as a rock. I'm hard as a rock. Idiots. That was a good-looking group of guys back then.
You all
I
were.
didn't realize it at the time.
You really
I looked
were.
at pictures. I'm like, man, it's like a boy band.
It's true, they were. Well, you'll see the pictures. I'll put some pictures up. Which, by the way, if you're listening to this as a podcast, you can also see the vodcast and see Blonde Jesus for yourself at youtube.com/herkimba. So, anyway, the point is, there's another.
That's the name of my
there's
autobiography.
Another PETA-ism. But who else? Rob Torres. You had Adam Keller was in the band for a while.
Yeah.
A Groovy.
And the Titone brothers, Roy and Rob Titone. Great guys I still talk to all the time. We had a running joke because all the places we played would close down soon after that. It seemed like all the places were closing down, all the live music venues. There was nowhere to play, so we moved out to Las Vegas. That's where I moved. And there's plenty of places to play.
Yeah, when did you move out to Vegas?
It was August of 2001. I played everywhere that you could play out there.
Was it 20?
Almost 20 years I was out there, yeah.
Wasn't 20 years that we didn't talk. I remember where I was. I just can't remember what year it was. 2017, 2018. Do you remember when you were visiting and you and Josh stumbled upon me?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I was sitting at Riverside enjoying a cocktail, and all of a sudden I see a guy who I haven't seen for the better part of 15 years.
Is that right? We didn't arrange to meet there or anything?
No.
You just happened to be there?
And in a full circle moment that same year, I went to your family's Christmas party again. There might be photographic evidence of that one too.
My mom takes a lot of pictures, so you have to sign a waiver when you drink the punch that we're not responsible for anything that you do.
Yeah, and it was many, many years later. And the most fun part of that was trying to remember your sisters' names in the right order.
They're so similar. Even I get them mixed up.
He has 3 gorgeous sisters.
It's Deanna, Melinda, and Joanna.
So you move out to Vegas. You play everywhere there. And did you ever get signed?
It was always so close.
So close, yeah.
Like this, they like you. It's going up the ladder, blah. The wheels are in motion. It was always so close. We did get signed to like an indie label in Vegas. That's why I went out there. Their label was actually running out of money and going bankrupt as we were moving out there. these things happen sometimes, kids.
It's crazy how close it gets, or it gets there and then it soon after it implodes. The whole band moved out there at that point?
No, it was me and Rob Tatone, the guitar player, moved out there. Played everywhere you could possibly play. And I had so much fun in Vegas, probably too much fun.
After you moved to Vegas and then moved back here, we ran into each other, went to the family Christmas party. Then I went out to Vegas to see Aerosmith at their Deuces Are Wild residency.
That's right.
And we hung out. I went to see you play.
Yeah, at the Gold Mine Tavern. I miss playing at that place. I miss the so many venues, and I miss the weather. That's probably the thing I miss most about Vegas is the weather. The dry heat. It is so nice. Like, it's pretty nice out here right now.
It's nice out now.
But I mean, we know as Floridians, like, it's usually not this nice. It's pretty terrible.
Do you remember the place that you took us after you played?
The Double Down Saloon.
Yes.
That's my favorite bar of all time.
That's like Club
CBGB?
Deuce here in CBGB's or on South Beach.
Is there one?
Yes.
Like a dive bar like that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, we got to go. Anybody that would come into town, I'd say you got to go to the Double Down and get a shot of ass juice. Can we say that?
I forgot I had that. I guess I erased that from my memory. We've gone over what happened with Company Kane, you going out to Vegas. Now you're back here, and you've been back here for a few years.
Came back to take care of the folks, had some health problems, blah, blah, blah. So I released an album earlier this year. It's called Last Dirty Dollar. It's like influenced by all the bands that I love, like that are way before my time, too. It's not my time that I'm emulating, but I love like the Stones and CCR, the Doors, Zeppelin, and songwriters like Bob Seger and Tom Petty. And those are the influence for the album. So if you like those artists, I think you'll love the album.
What is your favorite song?
There's a song called Wait a Little While. It's really a personal song. If you're going through a bad time, it's a kind of a uplifting song to listen to. I think the video, the best one was probably Soul for Sale. I put a lot of time and effort into making it look, I wanted to do a throwback to the 90s, to like this California kind of pool party, like fun. The song is really fun. And it goes, la, 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 la. Go ahead, Hal. Hal paying attention?
Hal's a duck.
Oh, that's a duck. Wait, there's no studio audience.
If you want to see the entire video, you can. You just look at the link here. It'd be youtube.com/
Sweet Pete Brown. All the videos are up there. And the album is streaming on every platform. It's called Last Dirty Dollar by Sweet Pete Brown.
And you just said you're getting a band together.
To play, like I played most of the instruments on the album, but I'm getting a band together now so I can promote it. I've played every kind of gig you can think of. In Vegas, there was, really good ones like casino gigs that paid a lot, and then grand opening of the mall, flea markets. I played a lot of biker bars in a blues band out there, and bikers, it's not like the movies where they're fighting and all that stuff. They're really well-behaved people, and they put a lot of money in the tip jar. So I love you bikers. getting a band together, going to play the songs off the album, going to play songs off my previous album, going to play Company Kane songs. We'll just run through everything, see what sounds good, and hopefully I just need to get everybody in the same room, and the magic will happen.
And many bands, there's a lot of people out there now that are playing in bands that used to play in all original bands that are now out there, and it's all covers all the time. And one of the guys told me that they make more money now doing covers than they ever did doing originals. But then I've seen posts recently from some people who go to watch these bands about how they're, you all play the same covers and this and that. But then I feel like the way things are at the moment, if they started playing originals, people would be like, what do you play? They don't know the song. Right. So it's a catch-22. So how do you feel about covers?
I think if you throw them in, I wouldn't mind. I've done both, but I think if you play some covers and throw your own music in there, if you can throw your own songs and stand up with the covers of like classic rock that you're doing, that would be the ideal situation.
You're putting the band together. You're going to do a lot of songs from your entire career in music, and now you just got to find places to play. We
got to save the orphanage, so we're getting the band back together. There's a movie reference, kids. That was the only one so far. Mm-hmm. I'm the movie nerds. The band, Elwood. I'm Sweet Pete Brown on all platforms, on Facebook, TikTok. Instagram. I post a lot of videos, sing and I dance, and sometimes I tell jokes. I'm just trying to entertain people, trying to connect with people through music and humor. Yeah. That makes you feel alive.
Yeah, so youtube.com/Sweet Pete Brown is where you will find his videos, and Sweet Pete Brown is where you will find him on social media on all the platforms that you can think of. Sweet Pete Brown. Find him, follow him, listen to the songs, and then, especially if you're in the South Florida area, start looking, well, we don't know what the band name is going to be, or is it going to be Sweet Pete Brown?
I haven't decided if it'd be Sweet Pete Brown and the Somethings, or I kind of want to be an ensemble and just a part of a band again.
Yeah.
But I am promoting the songs that I did, so I haven't decided yet. I don't know what I should do.
Well, give your opinions. If you follow him on social media, you will know when he's going to be playing out and if, in fact, there is a band name.
Music is the reason why you keep doing this, even though it's not a financial compensation that I'm going for, obviously, at this point, but you do this because, that feeling of playing music when you're connecting with people and there's something going through you. I know how corny this sounds, but it feels like you're a vessel for something else. You're no longer
I don't think it
there.
Sounds corny. I think music is everything.
And I'll tell you another thing. This is going to be pro wrestling now. When I get in that ring, brother, all
right, Sweet Pete Brown.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Kim and I are going to do some singing and dancing, and we're going to continue to hang out on the Green River. Thank you. Cut. Hal, cut it.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for being one of Kimba's herd, and thank you for joining us for Me Kimba Radio Broadcast, Season 4, Episode 4.
Shama, Lama, Ding Dong.
This Kimba's on the radio. Kimba!